What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video, because the Bild reporter Christian Falk just told Inside the Hottest Transfer Deals podcast that Liverpool have spoken to Thiago for weeks now and they have agreed personal terms. So Liverpool and Thiago already have the contract and everything, personal terms agreed, and this information comes straight from the Bayern Munich dressing room. Christian Falk is a very respected German journalist working for the Bild newspaper, and he wouldn't relay this information to us if it wasn't true. So if you are excited about this, leave a like, and in this video we will talk in detail about the Sky Sports reporting that Thiago is on his way to Liverpool. The only thing left is Liverpool need to negotiate the transfer price, and Bayern Munich are willing to sell Thiago if they get a fair transfer price. At the moment Bayern want around 30 million and Liverpool are willing to pay around 20 million, so I think they will meet in the middle of around 25 million. And guys, if you enjoy these, of course leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Half of you guys who watch these videos aren't subscribed to my channel, so make sure you do so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news updates. And it looks like this transfer saga will run for weeks, because Bild and Sky Sports also report that no official bid has been launched by Liverpool. And I think this is a tactic, a very smart tactic by Michael Edwards, the transfer guru at Liverpool, because Bayern and Liverpool both know that Thiago wants to leave and he wants to move to Liverpool. He sees Liverpool as the perfect club to continue his career at, and even the Bayern CEO said that Thiago wants to experience something new, he wants to try a new challenge, he wants to play in the Premier League, and that's perfectly normal and natural. Liverpool already are pegged in terms of centre midfield options, even though Lallana left the club, because we have Jordan Henderson, Naby Keita, Fabinho, James Milner, Curtis Jones, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Gini Wijnaldum to choose from for just 3 positions. But I think that Liverpool cannot pass up an opportunity to sign a world-class player like Thiago. If you watched the Bayern Munich-Chelsea game, where Bayern absolutely wiped the floor with Chelsea, one of the best clubs in the Premier League, you could see how world-class Thiago is and how great he was in distributing the ball. His passes forward almost always found a teammate, and he started the attack, which led to Lewandowski being fouled and the penalty incident. And also Thiago tracked back brilliantly and sometimes tackled the Chelsea attackers and stopped Chelsea's numerous threatening attacks. But we have to say, Wijnaldum still hasn't agreed a new contract. He still has only 1 year, 12 months left on his contract. Wijnaldum still waits on Liverpool. He doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay at the club. He loves to play for Liverpool, and why wouldn't he? We are the Premier League champions, and I think Wijnaldum is a very key part. But you could feel that maybe Liverpool are thinking that we could do better than Wijnaldum and we could maybe replace Wijnaldum with Thiago. I really hope that we get both players to sign a contract, Wijnaldum a contract extension and Thiago a Liverpool contract. I really hope that we don't let Wijnaldum go, because he can still offer absolutely sensational performances for the next 2 or 3 years. But it's maybe Wijnaldum wants a 3-year contract, Liverpool only want to give him a 2-year contract. So there is still some negotiations to do on this front. And I don't think Liverpool want to lose Wijnaldum on a free transfer, because if Wijnaldum runs down his contract, he will be able to leave next summer and he can start negotiations with foreign clubs as early as next January. I really don't want that. And considering 30 million euros is the asking price from Bayern Munich, I honestly think that Liverpool can afford to pay that. Also because we paid so little for Konstantinos Tsimikas, just 11 million pounds. I think that Thiago for 30 million euros, that's like 25-26 million, represents decent value for money. A world-class midfielder like Thiago, in a normal climate, if it wasn't that his contract is running out, he would cost around 50-60 million pounds at least. And Sky Sports reporter Kaveh Solakol reports that Thiago is very keen to play for Liverpool. He wants to play for Liverpool. He dreams of joining Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool's revolution, and he will do anything in his power to make that happen. But the thing is, Bayern wants a fair price for him. They believe around 30 million euros would be a fair price, and Bayern Munich manager Hansi Flick feels a new challenge would be ideal for Thiago. Thiago played for Barcelona and now 7 years for Bayern Munich. He wants a new challenge, which in my opinion should be the Premier League. He's a very important player for us who gives the team that certain something, and we have to replace him with the same quality. For a while it looked like Thiago wanted to stay, but at some point he obviously thought that he would like to do something different at the end of his career. He is 29 now, and as soon as the number 3 is up, it will be a little bit more difficult to find a top club in Europe. So you have to understand him a little bit. He had the top club in Spain, a top club in Germany, so maybe he would like to join a top club in England. And yeah, this is probably the last year when Thiago can make that move happen. When you are 30, 31, 32, not many really top clubs in England will sign you, even if you are world class like Thiago. German football expert Raphael Honigstein said that Thiago is the missing piece in Liverpool's jigsaw. This is what he said. In Germany they are saying that if Liverpool buy Thiago, they will win every game next year, or almost every game. He's just been so good for Bayern. If there is one player that Liverpool are missing in that midfield, is that technical player, more of a creator and a dribbler, somebody who scores spectacular goals and who can find the pass, who can assist the strikers. It's not a player that Liverpool have accommodated, not a kind of player that Liverpool accommodated in recent years, and it would change the dynamic of their midfield if you find space for Thiago. Bayern had an offer of a contract extension on the table. They thought they had agreed, but he has changed his mind, Thiago. The club assumed that he must already have a deal in place with someone else, but that side are yet to reveal themselves. There's been no firm offer from anyone yet, but Bayern are bracing themselves for Liverpool, because that's the rumor in the Bayern dressing room. We haven't seen any offer yet, and Liverpool have distanced themselves from making a move, but that could be just be part of their strategy. Bayern more or less resigned to Thiago leaving. I think that would be a big blow for them, as he's more or less been running games for them, and he's an absolute key player in my mind. It will be very difficult for Bayern to find a player who is like Thiago, who is so unique in his technical ability. It's a blow for Bayern and something that they didn't expect. And Wijnaldum's representatives, according to Sky Sports, are waiting for Liverpool to open talks about a new contract as he enters the final 12 months of his current one. He loves playing for Liverpool. He doesn't really want to leave. But according to Sky Sports new Liverpool reporter Vinny O'Connor, Liverpool have to improve, because if you look at the likes of Chelsea at the moment, Man City are going to improve, Man United have had a run that has taken them into the Champions League once again. So Liverpool know they have to be better next season, and if they are not going to do so much in the transfer market, then the Liverpool squad know they will have to raise their levels once again. Klopp has said that they are not necessarily going to do a lot of business in the transfer window, but there could be the odd addition. We already signed Tsimikas, a backup left back, which I'm super excited about. But then there are the other improvements to the players that they have already got. We saw what with Naby Keita's performances. If you can get those kind of performances out of him consistently, that is a huge improvement that Liverpool makes next season with a fully fit and world-class Naby Keita in form. Jurgen Klopp talked to us after the season about Curtis Jones, and he could not help let it slip that Curtis Jones is already for the first team. They are very excited about what he can produce for Liverpool. Adam Lallana has left a space, and Curtis Jones can more than fill that and become an influential member of that squad, as there is a lot of excitement at what he can achieve in a red shirt, and he's taking on the number 70 shirt next season, which of course in the early years was Steven Gerrard's shirt. This is the analysis from Sky Sports, and according to Fabrizio Romano, Liverpool have been talking to Thiago, Jurgen Klopp specifically, and this is what he said. Thiago and Jurgen Klopp have been in talks for weeks now. Thiago sees Liverpool as his dream club. Liverpool in his mind is perfect, and he is pushing for the transfer to happen. Bayern Munich won 30 million euros to sell him this summer, and it's up to Liverpool. Also, other clubs are considering Thiago as a good opportunity. Paris Saint-Germain are interested, but I think Liverpool know that Thiago wants to sign for Liverpool, so it's just a matter of maybe negotiating a more fair price. The Times is reporting that Liverpool will receive the full £175 million prize package for winning the Premier League, and the payments will not be reduced as a result of the pandemic. There will be cuts at some point in seasons down the line, because there is still a potential £330 million rebate to be paid to TV broadcasters, but the Premier League has agreed it will not affect any payouts at the end of this season, meaning Liverpool will receive the full sum, the highest amount ever paid out to a Premier League winner. Right now, the club has been careful regarding its finances, regarding the transfer market, because of an uncertainty about incomings, but this £175 million revenue will provide a very large safety net. Obviously, Liverpool are not going to spend hundreds of millions of pounds this summer on transfers. We would still be surprised if Liverpool buy a player who costs over £40 million, but we hope there will be a few smart deals like the Tsimikas for £11 million. I think that's a very, very smart, and we are linked with Ismail Assar, the Watford winger, and we are linked with Thiago. I will make a separate video on Ismail Assar as well, because I think that's a very, very interesting transfer news as well. And Liverpool winning the Premier League and getting 175 million is huge, because last season we went to the Champions League final and won it, so we earned a lot of money last season as well. 2 seasons ago we went to the Champions League final as well. So Liverpool have been doing brilliant in finances in the last 24 to 36 months, and I really hope that Liverpool can keep this success up, because once the pandemic will be over, hopefully sometime next year, then football can recover and fans will be allowed back in stadiums. And after that, Liverpool will be in such a healthy financial position that we can maybe go for a really, really big transfer in 1 or 2 years. That's I'm really, really looking forward to that. And there has been a documentary released about Liverpool's Premier League champion run. It's called Golden Sky, Jurgen Klopp's Champions documentary. And Jurgen Klopp said in this documentary, counting the minutes, it was just incredible and absolutely one of the best football moments I've ever had in my life, with not being in a stadium, because we were there together. You could see each face. Players were sitting there. Some really couldn't watch it and stuff like this. We were all like this, and it was absolutely exceptional when we were confirmed Premier League champions. You have no idea how it will feel before it happens. It was pure joy, massive relief in the next second, and then I started crying. So I went and called Ulla, my wife. I called my family 10 seconds before the end of the game, so they watched it together. I said, okay, I love you all. I put the phone down on the table and I said, leave your phone on so you can see what happens here. And then I wanted to speak to Ulla and I just couldn't. I had her on the phone, but I was just crying. I didn't know why it happened. I had no idea. I was proud and I was worried about it, but I couldn't stop. I've never in my life had a situation where I just couldn't stop crying. I didn't know exactly why, so I just went for a few minutes in my room, because I didn't want to show everybody when I was stood around there, and I couldn't stop crying. And then I realized, step by step, obviously, there was some pressure, which I don't really feel when I'm in the situation, but being manager of this club is a big honor. I see it as pure luck, but it was some responsibility, let me say it like this. And obviously that fell off my shoulders in that moment, and that must have been the reason for it. It was very strange, very good, very emotional, very special moment in my life, and that's just brilliant. And Jurgen Klopp knows how much responsibility he has as the manager of Liverpool FC, a manager of the Liverpool family, and his whole responsibility and the weight on his shoulders about delivering the first league title in 30 years. You can't underestimate how big that is. All that emotion, all that pressure was released at that moment when finally, after 30 years, and finally after 4.5 years of Jurgen Klopp being manager of Liverpool, we managed to win the title, and it has been an absolutely amazing season. No matter what any rival fan says, this has been the best season in Liverpool's history, and I'm so incredibly proud and happy for Jurgen Klopp, for the players, and for everybody connected with Liverpool Football Club. And Rio Ferdinand, in his post-match analysis of the Bayern-Chelsea game, he talked about Thiago. Thiago is a conductor, somebody who controls the tempo of the game. He's got a wing mirror, so he can see behind him. He can see all the angles, play every pass in the game. Intelligent player. He speaks the language, which is an important part of it as well. He would be a dream to have for someone like Liverpool. He's the type of player they probably haven't got. And also Hansi Flick said, if Thiago plays like he does today, he's very important to us. He had a lot of the ball wins on the defensive and also determined our game. He played smart passes, he let the ball circulate, he acted very well in the three-man setup. I liked that very much. I am very satisfied. The qualities of our players should be known by now. We don't have to talk about Thiago. He has been showing what he can do for 10 years. He can not only handle the ball well and delight the spectators and his own team, but he's also an excellent ball thief. He gets the ball back from the opposition. He showed that again today. He brought what he means to us into the game. And John Barnes, the former Liverpool player, actually said something very interesting. He said that Liverpool last year were better than Liverpool this year. And I kind of agree in terms of the football that we played, the performances. We played slightly better football last year when we won the Champions League and we managed to end up on 79 points. But this season we were just a ruthless winning machine. We went into every game like it was the last game of the season and you have to win it to win the title. And last season we didn't have that mentality. But let's see what John Barnes had to say. I was delighted with Liverpool last year. 97 points, finishing second, winning the Champions League. In fact, I think they were probably better last year, but Man City were just incredible. They continued that consistency this year in what they did. So I look at it as a 2-year victory, if you like. Winning the Champions League, finishing second by a point in the league, and then winning the Premier League this season. It was an incredible 2 years. Jurgen Klopp has brought a real level of consistency and determination and humility to the team. People are now saying, can they do it again next year? But what we can do next year is we can be as competitive as we were this year. Obviously, teams will improve to make it harder, but I don't think we will be any less consistent next year. You can go back to when Liverpool won the European Cup in the old days in Rome, and of course there was Istanbul, and you think that will never be surpassed. But then there was the 4-0 home game against Barcelona. As much as it was in the semi-final, and it wasn't a final to win the Champions League, that for me tops anything they have done in the past, including Istanbul. To beat Barcelona when we had to beat them 4-0 at home, without Firmino, without Salah, while they had all their players, Barcelona, including Lionel Messi, and for Liverpool to come back, that's why it's my favorite. Again, it shows what Jurgen Klopp has brought to Liverpool, the determination and belief to the team, to demand that kind of performance from the team, regardless of who is playing. It shows what Jurgen Klopp has done. Absolutely brilliant analysis by John Barnes. I really loved it, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video as well. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.